And welcome everybody, College Football 26. It is the Arkansas State Red Wolves Dynasty, and it's our very first offseason of the series. After a 5-7 Season 1, now we tackle the offseason where we are at risk of losing some of our biggest returning if they choose not to go in the portal. But we have some key players who have decisions to make today. In the lower right-hand corner, you can see deal breakers for the likes of Kenyon Clay at running back, quarterback Jalen Rayner, and there are many others that could choose to leave. Year 2 could look very different than Year 1 in the Dynasty. That is what's in store today. Thank you all for coming. Happy Friday, everybody. How's it going? If you're watching afterwards, when the stream is just a video, you can follow the chapters. I should have some timestamps where you can go and check out, all right, players leaving, training, preseason stuff, if you want to jump around. But if you're watching live, welcome everybody to a very big stream, of course. It is another off-season. These have become a staple on the channel. They have been for over 10 years. I love streaming my off-seasons. These days always feel very special. Hello, Kane. How do you feel about those Twins right now? I feel a lot better if they just sold the team, man. That was such a buzzkill to find out they're not going to be selling the team. Absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah, the portal is going to be an interesting one today, Nick. I don't know what to expect right now. I am using the transfer portal sliders that C4 made, so it does cap the players that can leave at 20, but you can still expect usually 10 to 15 players to leave every year. I have a little bit of experience in my Kalispell Dynasty where I've had good luck. I did not lose key starters to the portal, but will that luck maintain here with the Red Wolves? We're going to find out here very soon. Thank you for the super chat there, Master. We hope Jalen Rayner does not transfer, because, man, it's fun to play with him. I like him at quarterback, and I want him back for his senior year. Also, Kill 4K earlier before the stream dropped a super chat as well. At work, will watch later. Hope you're enjoying the stream, Kill, or maybe the video afterwards. Oh, yeah. That's a good call, Gordon. So, the Pac-12 is going to be changing, and we know that a number of teams are going to be moving there next year. I remembered that like last week, and then I forgot to actually set up everything. Texas State's really going to the Pac-12? Really? That's kind of crazy. I don't want them to. Kane, can you roll your R's? No, I've never been able to. Yeah, I can show the sliders. These are Mat 10 sliders. I forget if I've made any changes, but man, I love where these have been playing at the end of the year, and I wish I had more games to play right now. We got to hurry up and do this off season so I can get to Season 2. Yeah, Matt's done a really good job with these, and I've given him some feedback, and there's a pretty good set right here until the next update when we have to go back into the lab and see what needs to be changed again. Before we get too far, I also wanted to say thank you to everybody that watched yesterday's video where I talked about how I wanted to change the format for this series, and I'm now looking to take things in a live commentary direction, like you see on my second channel. I have been sticking to an older style of video for a very long time, but I do think now is the time to try recording these as live commentary, but make them just as exciting and immersive and action-packed as you've come to expect from my franchises and dynasties. And the feedback yesterday was incredible. The feedback was awesome. So many of you, leaving supportive comments, and more or less the message I was getting was like, do whatever you want. You know, we trust you to take the series in the right direction. And I think that this change is going to allow me to get videos out quicker, have more action-packed games that are more exciting, and I think have the kind of atmosphere that I want the videos to ultimately have. Year 1 was fast. I'm hoping Year 2 can be even faster. We're still going to have multi-game episodes mixed in with some single-game episodes. And I think there is room to be creative. If there is a game I play and it's like, you know, maybe this should be a 10-minute recap, I'm not against doing that if I need to when it makes sense. But live commentary is going to be the direction that we ultimately move in. Now, how am I going to do that, Tyranitar? Thank you for the membership here. The penalties to Michigan and Harbaugh. I don't know. What exactly are the penalties? I know that University of Michigan was fined like $20 million. I don't know what a show cause penalty is. In my first Old Dominion offseason, I lost 36 players to graduation and transfer. It was a bloodbath. Yeah, off-seasons can absolutely wreck your team this year. Absolutely. Have I thought about doing a bowl game with a live stream? You know, I think I want to see where this live com direction takes me, because it would be pretty seamless to do streaming on occasion, but I don't know if I'd be streaming like massive games like that. I more so think about streaming kind of the more throwaway games, but we'll see. We're going to have to make it to a bowl game first, and we failed to do that this year because I blew a 4-2 start with this team. Ultimately losing 4 games in a row here in this part of the schedule. Had a chance here to beat South Alabama, blew that. The Troy game was a wild one. And then a couple more decisive losses here. Georgia Southern, Southern Miss. We got our butts kicked in those games. And then App State went up too big early for me to come back on them. But you know what? I had a lot of fun during Season 1. Cagney, I think, thank you for becoming a channel member. Welcome aboard. Looks like it's your first time. Every month I do a channel member live stream where I talk about changes to the channels, plans I have, and I guess, you know, I didn't even talk about the live comm direction in the last one because it kind of came about more so in the last week or two, and I think the move, it's the right time. Any coordinator changes? So I think I missed the chance because I think it's still tied to conference championship week if I'm not mistaken. So I still have the same coordinators. Maybe for the next season we can look to make a change. Is it still tied to that specific week? How many off seasons do you think you will do before deciding whether or not to adjust the transfer slider? I'm kind of playing it by ear. I like how it's played out overall in Kalispell. I've been losing players. I didn't end up losing anybody too impactful there, but we're going to see what brings it in today. Troy is the best in the Sun Belt. Yeah, we could not beat Goose Crowder and the Troy Trojans this year, unfortunately. Thank you, Chris, for 79 months. I also wanted to say that today's stream is again sponsored by Control Freak. Really happy to have been working with them. And Control Freak makes controller accessories. You'll see my thumbsticks here. I have the no-slip thumb grips here on my left stick. I can't hold this normally mirrored. Then I have my raised right stick here because I'm old. I need all the help I can get when it comes to better aim when I'm playing the Battlefield 6 beta. But I love the Control Freak products. The controller gets more comfortable. It improves your grip, and I think it makes you a lot more precise on the sticks. If you want to check them out, link down below in the description. You can save 12% on your order with the code MrHurriicane. Thank you to Control Freak. And let's get into the off-season. Hey, I am old, and my multiplayer shooter days are mostly behind me. Battlefield 6, has gotten me to play a little bit, taken me away from Expedition 33, but you know what? Having a pretty good time. I think it's time to sim through Bowl Week, everybody. I've already talked about the season enough at the end of last episode and everything else. Don't forget to add Louisiana Tech to the Sun Belt West. A move many of us don't like in the Sun Belt. Why is that? Thank you for the membership, Kaleidoscope. How come y'all aren't a fan of Louisiana Tech joining the West? I'm kind of bummed that Texas State is supposed to go to the, not SEC, the Pac-12, because they have a 4-star quarterback, and we, of course, played an amazing game against them this year, so I'd love to have maybe them as a non-conference opponent, and we can still do that. But they have the only 4-star player in the Sun Belt this year, and they're headed out to the Pac-12 now. They don't add any value more so, and less value to the conference. You think it drags down conference prestige? That's an interesting point, especially here in College Football 26, where conference prestige is a deal breaker and something that matters in recruiting. The West is already weak compared to the strong part of the East. I tell you what, I felt like whatever we're in, we are in the... Arkansas State is in the West, and this was strong this year. This was really good. Southern Miss, I'm sorry, I was not familiar with your game and your nearly 200-plus point differential. My God. All right, guys, let's sim ahead past Bowl Week and see what the future holds. Season 2 will definitely be interesting based on who stays and who goes. Ark State should join the Pac-12 in a few years. Maybe there's a move like that that's possible. Ultimately, I look at if we're like, is the conference interesting? Are we in fun battles? Are the games, are we getting to the point where we're too good and the games are more throwaway? I'm interested maybe if the Sun Belt, the Pac-12 ends up being like a level above that between them and the SEC, and maybe we make 2 jumps in the series. I'm not quite sure. But it sounds like I have to revamp the Pac-12 here a little bit. Geography doesn't matter. I think we need to, change the name of some of these conferences. We don't need the Mid-American Conference, the Pacific Athletic, whatever the Pac is, the Southeastern Conference. It doesn't mean much anymore. The Dallas Cowboys play in the NFC East. That's annoying enough. Now the Texas Longhorns play in the SEC. I did not fire my coordinators. I missed it during conference championship week. I wish it wasn't tied to that. I just love how the Big 10 and Big 12 don't have 12 and 10 teams in them, right? And then, it's America. The big number is supposed to be better, right? But the Big 10 is the powerhouse. Big 12 has some good teams too, but Big 10, come on now. Second strongest conference in the nation. I went to manage staff and didn't see a firing option. Indianapolis in the AFC South, yeah. They could be in the same division as the Vikings, but they're not. As a matter of fact, Indianapolis is one of the most centrally based, areas, and that's why the Combine is held there. It's a shorter distance of travel for teams and players in most cases. But yeah, they're in the South. All right, guys, who are the champs of Season 1? It's going to be the Miami Hurricanes. Really? I can't believe Miami blew the chance to be a playoff team last year. I could not believe that. Who was it that beat them? Georgia Tech? Because didn't Georgia Tech beat FSU to start the season, and then they spoiled Miami later in the year? Was it those darn Yellow Jackets? Syracuse? God, y'all lost to Syracuse? They're like the only FBS team that plays their home games in a dome. You lost to a dome team. Did they lose to Georgia Tech too, though? Yeah, Syracuse was good. Kyle McCord put up some big numbers. I think he was like a top 6 Heisman finalist. Yeah, I was heartbroken when I learned that Idaho wasn't in the FBS anymore. They got demoted, so the Kibbe Dome is not even here in the game anymore. The Kibbe Dome's kind of interesting. I'm looking for the bowl results. I promise I'm not trying to draw this out any longer, but I'm looking for like the bowl games and stuff. But let's go to the CFP bracket. Here's how things broke. UNLV. Wow. I remember when they were like a tune-up game in the Minnesota Dynasty. They were not good in NCAA 14 whatsoever. Maybe it was Kalispell Dynasty even. They probably beat us at least once in there. So, Penn State and Miami in the finals. Miami had to take down A&M and the Longhorns to get there. You got Texas Tech going on a nice run, but more or less this feels like 11 teams you're not too surprised to see here. UNLV is the big surprise at 11-3, 13th ranked in the seeding, or the country, 12th ranked in the seeding. Bryce Underwood already taking the Wolverines to the playoff? Yeah. Did that as a true freshman, number 1 prospect in the country. Let's check out some stats, too, now that the dust has settled and the games are over. I kind of wanted to see some bowl results. I want to know who the Sun Belt champion is going into next season. So that is going to be Southern Miss, and they ended up in the top 25. So they win the Sun Belt, and what was their bowl game reward? Probably against a Power 4 team that blew them out is my best guess. Southern Miss beat Toledo 41-30. Well done. Heisman winner was Joey Aguilar from the Tennessee Volunteers. Tucker Gleason from Toledo, man, he was a dog in the Buffalo Dynasty. I didn't like facing him. Jeremiah Smith finishes here in the top 5, the lone receiver. Yeah, I hear that Duke is like amazing in sim this year. But I don't know how well they did this year in mine. So, leading touchdown thrower this year, Carson Beck. Georgia fans, thoughts, opinions? 44-2. Ooh, that's 24 picks for Buffalo, and I wasn't even controlling them. Can you believe that? All right, running the ball, Mark Fletcher Jr., man, throwback to my Miami series last year, leading the nation in rushing. That's awesome. How about leading receiver, Jeremiah Smith? Of course, the injury to Corey Rucker has him finishing, you know, probably in the 60s or 70s in terms of leading receivers. He did cross 1,000, and we'll see where he gets drafted. You know, pro potential is one of those things that we want to level up in the series, and him getting drafted high would definitely benefit the program overall. Zane Durant, 21.5 sacks. 7 interceptions here for Anthony Hill. How come the sim stats are so much better in this game than Madden? How many return touchdowns are happening? Not a ton. Ooh. Check this out. Zachariah Branch. Can't say I'm familiar with his game, but 2 punt return touchdowns, 1,100 receiving yards, 10 touchdown catches. That's a player right there. A pretty darn good one. All right, let's see how good those Blue Devils were, huh? So y'all know the Sun Belt by now. In the SEC, Texas, I think, won it. In the ACC, Duke finished 11-2. So they're doing pretty well here. They got a nasty defense there if they're only allowing 235 points. Big 12. Shout out to Texas Tech. Big 10. Looks like Penn State won that this year. And then Conference USA, you got Liberty. How about the MAC? Toledo. Yeah, they're good. Mountain West, Boise State. Pac-12, 2, I mean. Who knows who won it? You know, I'm not crowning a winner there. Oh, and don't forget about the American Navy. It doesn't get much more American than that. All right, guys, let's move it forward now. Let me get some tunes going again. All right, championship contender is a D, and you can see the list of players there who are at risk of transferring because of that. And this is the big step right here. Who ends up choosing to leave Arkansas State? Now, my house rule, it's not relevant right now, but I reiterate every offseason. Players that declare pro and are going in the first 3 rounds, I will not convince to stay, and I will not convince running backs who go pro to stay. Transfers, I'll try to convince anybody. Probably fail because I only get like 2 attempts. But here we go. All right, I need you guys to give me some good energy right here. I do not want to lose Jalen Rayner. I do not want to lose my entire running back backfield. Who is leaving Arkansas State? Here we go. Oh my God. Kenyon Clay, Jalen Rayner, Javonte Mackey, Ryan Rivers, he's the QB2. Trayvon Howard, no. The Minnesota native sophomore safety. Will Saxton, these are all of our best players. Devin Spencer, I gave him a whole segment and an intro of an episode. Why is my screen over here frozen? I can't see any of y'all's replies yet. Wow. Welcome to the life with the transfer portal, guys. I'm not done. I'm not done. Press F to pay respects. F's in the chat, guys. Break the entire key. Yeah, my streaming thing was broken. I wasn't seeing a single comment coming in at first. The F's in the chat. Oh, man. You know, I'm not playing the right music right now. No, this is not right. Jalen Rayner, why would you do this to me? Y'all leaving me at a very critical time in the series when I'm trying to enter Season 2, take this series in a live commentary direction. David, thank you for becoming a new channel member. I really appreciate that. This is my contribution to the MrHurriicane Red Wolves NIL Fund. If we donate enough, chat, we might not lose the whole team to the portal. Thank you, JS, a.k.a. Tyranitar. I love the profile pic. I might have lost 20 guys. JJ Harrell? Oh my God. Now, I have 2 persuasions, guys. That's 20. I lost 20 players. You about to trot out the water boy on the field next season. You are right, master. Put this toward NIL, I guess. Man, we're going to have to get something back in the portal, though, guys. Now, Jalen Rayner wants to transfer. Would you change that about him? I would. And I would love to try to persuade him, but I have an extremely low chance. If I am successful, do I get my persuasion back? Is it like challenges? Is it 2 failures or just 2 attempts, period? Because I think that one player I'm going to try to bring back is J.J. Harrell. No? It's a medium chance. And as a freshman, with his upside, like, I already know he can make plays with the ball in his hands. It's the pre-catch stuff I want to work on. And if route running gets better, freshman to sophomore, man, Harrell could end up being a big playmaker. Holy cow, guys. I need to see my depth chart and everything. Ethan Crawford, too? Man. Guys. Top 3 quarterbacks are looking to enter the portal. We'd be left with Josh Flowers and Rashawn Coleman. And, oh, those accuracies on Coleman, man. That deep accuracy. I don't know about that. What do we think about Josh Flowers? Kane, I'll get everyone on this ferry right now to donate to the cause. Man, the NIL budget needs it. Thank you, Garrett. Josh Flowers. Throw under pressure of 59. And the chances of me being able to bring in a quarterback in the portal, I know are not great for those that have like playing style as a deal breaker, for instance. So, man, this is going to be interesting to see where things go. You guys know I love the challenge, though. Coastal Carolina Dynasty, SBC becomes FCS Conference. What exactly does that mean? The Sun Belt becomes an FCS conference? You tell me all the teams get so bad? Mine might be an FCS team next year. At running back, I might lose all 3. Cedric Hawkins, D'Angelo Cooks. I'm trying to get an idea of who I should convince to stay. I have 2 opportunities, and I'm afraid. Like, if Gabe Fortson is trying to leave, he's someone that I should try to keep around. I feel like I might be able to replace a tackle. Tristian Smith, if he's trying to leave, or Austin Woods. Man. And then you consider on defense, I mean, Mackey and Howard trying to leave. Who do I have coming in? I got 9 players in the class right now, but we're looking at these freshmen having to play a lot probably next year. Javonte Mackey, low chance. Trayvon Howard, very low chance. Andy McKenzie is our only hope. I don't think Andy McKenzie is coming to save the day. What positions do you have coming in so far? I got, a cornerback. I got a couple defensive tackles, some edge rushers. Like, edge, we can handle losing a couple guys. I have a wide receiver coming in. I'm trying to get a quarterback, and maybe now I'm trying a little bit harder. But, man, I thought Ryan Rivers was also an interesting one to try and develop and maybe turn into a starter, given his accuracies are so good on day 1 and his arm is very strong. But do I dare spend one of my persuasion chances there? I think J.J. Harrell is one. I might have to go with one of my guards because I have high and medium chance. Or Cameron Ambrose. I'm okay, you know, at edge, I think. Surprisingly, no corners are transferring. Brandon Barnes. Very low. Do I have any chance in the transfer portal to get any of these guys back? Like, can I put Jalen Rayner on my board and try to keep him around? 67 overall senior guard talking about pro potential. Oh, man. It's possible? You're saying I have a chance? Don't give me a shred of hope because I'll go too far with it. I'm going to try to convince J.J. Harrell. I'm a J.J. Harrell believer. Conference prestige is his reason. This conference is just fine, J.J. Come on! Oh, Fortenberry too. Yeah, might as well. Woods has better dev than Smith, but Smith has a higher chance of coming back. You doing a franchise on the main channel for Madden? That's not in the plans right now. I'm taking this series in a new direction, and I want to get a chance to focus on it. But we'll see down the road what happens. You don't think a 67 junior guard is the move? Well, and you put it that way. Brand exposure. Bro. The pass protection on Woods is good. I could probably convince him to stay. Well, I have a chance. Zuri Madison, too. Oh. Let me sort by chance. Junior, freshman edge. I feel pretty good about edge, and he has normal dev. Sophomore, freshman linebacker. I don't know anything about Alexander Green. Didn't play this year. But he doesn't have a whole lot of potential here, and yeah, isn't going to help us in coverage. I hear a lot of negative things about raw strength guards. Is it the caps y'all don't like? I don't think you can try twice on the same player, no. You think it's better post-patch? Cool. Used to take too many points to upgrade them. Got it. Thank you. So I'm thinking about Austin Woods still. He has a chance to develop, and he's a decent pass protector, and I think this skill set, I think that's the skill set I need to try to bring back. And I have a decent chance here. It's medium. Austin Woods. Yes. That's a starting caliber guard on this team, especially after another year of development on Impact Dev. But otherwise, guys, we are about to lose a lot of players. 19 players are transferring away, on top of all the players that are graduating. This is going to be a very different year, too. Let's save it. Oh, I could check out some of the other Sun Belt teams. Yeah, I was stuck looking at us. Give me Troy. Goose Crowder. Probably heading out the door. Maybe Goose Crowder comes to us. Southern Miss losing a whole bunch too, even after such a great season. All right, let's move on. I'm going to have to look at quarterbacks. And, you know, the transfer portal window comes before development. So I need to go after a quarterback. Have I missed a lot? Yup. We have lost basically every key player I was worried about losing. Alright, please tell me that at least Corey Rucker was taken in the first 3 rounds or 4th round. 7th round, Corey Rucker. Someone got an absolute steal. Put on the Texas State tape. Look at Duke sending 5 into the league right there. Now, when's the next time we end up sending someone to the NFL draft? Especially like a homegrown player. Not a lucky transfer that has a high overall. I feel like we might be waiting for a while. Oh, man. Year 5 will be our next 7th round pick. Thank you for the vote of confidence. No! Why? I'm still in the lead. Keenan Kamara is the main quarterback I've been targeting. High school player. Maybe I still make this work, but he could be going to UAB instead, if they want him. He saw J.J. Harrell was leaving, and he's like, see you later. So I got these 5 high school players that I'm certainly still trying to add. I'm going to take Warmack off the board. We'll see about him. Let's go into the transfer portal, guys. Oh, actually 5-star transfers. I'm not used to seeing that. Auburn just lost Keldrick Folk. Chris, is this a big departure? Is this a big loss for y'all? 6'6", 270-pound edge rusher. 5-star. And Jordan Seaton. That's yeah, that's who came over in the portal to Colorado. There's a 4-star that hasn't locked us out at quarterback. Is he the only one? No, there's 4. I don't think I have a chance, though. I'm not locked out. That doesn't mean I have a good opportunity here to get any of these 4-stars. But there is a quarterback. A.J. Turner is a beast? Yeah. I believe A.J. Turner had the big year last season with Marshall and then transferred to Minnesota. He's got speed. I know he's good. I got to try. I got 3 running backs in here. I'm looking at what schools are potentially interested, and I'm getting very overwhelmed. But otherwise, on 3 stars here, so... Ooh, 6th. All right, this makes me feel a little bit better, seeing some players interested in us. I wanted to see here, where is Jalen Rayner? Oh, is it alphabetized by first name? So I got to go to the J's. Yeah, I might not put my points on a 4-star. If I have 3 stars that give me a much higher chance, then probably the route I end up going. Where is Jalen Rayner? Is he a 4-star transfer? He is. Jalen Rayner is considered a 4-star transfer. He might go to Tennessee. Is Joey Aguilar graduating anytime soon? I don't know if you're going to play. 80 plus is a 4-star? Okay. Well, let's see what quarterbacks are out here then. So the top that is interested in us is Duncan Grant from Ole Miss. He's got a 6 on his board right now. We're going to put him, on our board here. He's a sophomore right now, so going into his junior season. Who else is showing interest? Austin Novosad from Oregon. Ricky Collins from Syracuse. I feel like I need to put these top quarterback options there if they're already interested. And consider I have 525 hours, so I kind of want to steer myself towards more winnable battles. In most cases, of course. Scotty Humphrey at running back. Jacoby Williams, 5'9", 175, Texas Tech. Tells me he's probably a speed back. What about Scotty Humphrey's over 200 pounds? Give me another 200-plus pound running back here. Bo Jackson? Bo Jackson? The Bo Jackson? Caleb Jackson, 235 pounds. All right, wide receiver we know is a very high priority, and thankfully, many wide receivers are considering us. Kenny Johnson. Speedster Titus Mokiao Adimalala. I've heard that name before, I swear. So I got a few wide receiver targets there. I wouldn't mind a tight end target. We're losing one. Houston Thomas from UTSA. I had him in the Tim Cannon Road to Glory. He's one of the only that'll talk to us. Offensive line, do I have many options? I have some. Let's see. Yeah, that's ranked high enough, I think, here. Anwar O'Neal, pass protector. At guard. 1,010 is not very high up here on the 3-star board. But I have to consider who I want to compete with. When I see these big schools, you know, I got to go somewhere else, but maybe Jaden Hart's. I got 34 targets right now. Jeez. I'm cooked. Give me a cornerback, and I'll clean up the board from there. All right, so I'm going to take these guys off the board here. Memphis is going on the schedule this year, and so will Texas State. They'll be 2 of our non-conference games. Rayshawn Driver, I can't believe you. You came to our game against Louisiana, man. You were there. In the building. Let me put a couple more targets here on the board. I'm going to get in that battle. CJ Blocker, but he plays cornerback. Bump and run. Boundary is probably the better archetype to target because we're not going to play a whole lot of man coverage. And then like a linebacker. Give me a linebacker here. And thankfully someone to come here. Signal caller is probably a pretty good archetype for us. They're practically graded evenly. So I'm going to put Kilgore on the board if he has us as his top team right now. Okay. How many running backs did I put on the board? 5? A little overkill. So 525 hours. At certain positions, I will want to do a little bit of scouting. You know, quarterback is one of them. Now, I'm not going to scout Michael Hawkins. He's a 4-star. I'm sure he could play for us, so I'm just going to offer. But I would like to do a little bit of scouting elsewhere. Duncan Grant was the next highest on the nationally ranked board. That looks pretty decent. 78 under pressure. I think I've seen enough there. Playing time is his top priority. So thankfully playing time is on our side. AJ Turner, I don't expect this one to work, but I'll give him a scholarship offer. Otherwise, I'm interested in some of these running backs. Don't scout? Well, I have to narrow it down. I'm trying to narrow it down between, you know, 4 running backs, 3 who are East-West playmakers. Bo is a freshman. Yeah, freshman's a pretty safe bet, I feel like. Love the videos, Kane. Looking forward to the offseason and the live commentary going forward. Thank you, Faison. And hopefully, man, I can put a team on the field that's fun to watch next year. Just pick one and pray. Fine. Bo Jackson and Jacoby Williams, assuming that he has a lot of speed. At receiver, route artist. That sounds like something we could use. And then a speedster. Houston Thomas, I'm going to give a scholarship to. Anwar O'Neal, 3-star pass protector, seems pretty safe. Need a Will Saxton replacement at left guard. Over 1,000 of you here in chat. Thank you all for coming to the stream today. Please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. How could you forget that? Sure, most of you are. All right, so now let's start distributing. Why was that so hard? Distributing points. The 4 stars are not the highest priority because I can't handle rejection. But at quarterback, Duncan Grant, we're going to send the house. At running back, I'm going to go and give Bo Jackson like 40. Jacoby Williams, I'm thinking more 30. Kane is going to have all of us channel members suiting up for the Red Wolves next season. That's right. If you are a channel member, I mean, you can get bumped up the depth chart and maybe find yourself starting on this team. I'm scared. Houston Thomas, I'm going to go with like 15. Because I know that I got to go heavier here on a left tackle. Jaden Hart's, I'm going to go with like 40. 35's good. I can send the house on 3 more if I need to. And I think I will for the linebacker, Alexander Kilgore. And then there was a freshman at cornerback, Marcus Gorey Jr. And now I got 50 more. And you can't forget that I still have some high school players that I was trying to bring in as well. One of them was Taylor Ezzie. Dwyer, I look safe there. Montaigne, pretty safe. I don't think I can go after Reigns right now. I don't know if I have the points, but I do want to battle still for Taylor Ezzie. So I'm going to go 35. And then on some of these portal guys, maybe I'll throw another 5 here on Jaden Hart's. Drafted a player in Madden recently named Justice Wall, and all I could think of was your rebuild mini legend Julian Wall. Yeah, a lot of great legends. You know, Julian Wall was a pretty nasty wide receiver. That was the Cardinals franchise, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Browns? I understand I may have had a transfer 3-star that liked us more, but I was looking at Grant as being higher, a higher graded quarterback, and we're 6 on his board. Kane, your Texans franchise got me into football. Now I'm working for UVA football recruiting. Also, please target wide receiver J.J. Harrell again. Henry, congratulations. The Texans franchise got you into football. That's crazy. That's awesome. That was a fun series, man. I had to work so hard in that series. I worked like crazy to win a Super Bowl in that series. It was not easy. Where's J.J. Harrell at? Because he is someone I would actually give something up to bring back. Oh, where's J.J. Harrell? Is he considered a 4 or a 2? His overall is not that high. BRB, updating my resume with Kane Viewer. That's got to have some pull somewhere. Where are you, JJ? Move the camera. Where am I at? Oh. We can go over here. You guys want me to go up here? What's it like up here? Bro, I can't find him. Top left, I think, is least info. Right in the middle. That's actually a really good idea. It is colder up here, man. I didn't wear any sleeves. Search with triangle. See? Work smarter, not harder. Although, how am I going to find him? I'm not sure I have enough filters to do it quickly. Search by team in the portal. Ooh. Now we can narrow it down faster, I think. How do I do that? Where is that list? Oh, I'm in the prospect list. I think I was being set up to fail there. Oh, I just have to open up a spot. I just have to open up a spot. I'll do that. I'm probably not going for you, so I'm going to open up a spot. All right, guys. We might have a chance to get J.J. Harrell back. I'll put my last 10 points there. I'll put more. Just blew a double-digit fourth quarter lead for the third straight week in my Arkansas Dynasty. I am hurting right now. You got to tighten up the defense, man. Thank you for the membership. Man, in the fourth quarter, though, they turn into complete juggernauts sometimes. It's hopeless. You got to tighten up the defense, though. You're getting fired, pal. Oh. Come on, JJ. I'm searching his social media. Hey, Jedi, I thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. I'm using those sliders. Good amount of illegal block in the back. Only one holding call in last 9 games. A block in the back. About 2 a game on both sides. Yeah, maybe it isn't ideal, but it does increase the penalties a little bit. The block in the back slider, I know Matt likes to use for, I forget what purpose, but there's a method to the madness. As long as it's not too excessive. All right. I think I'm going to sim a week, and we're going to see what happens. All right, guys. We're simulating to week 2. Why do you have 4 stars on the board if you're not adding points? Because I'm bad at the game. All right, UAB is not trying. All right, Taylor Ezzy. We're closer. They don't have an offer. They're just trying to get him to sign up for the Army there. They haven't even offered. Wow, I'm not getting A.J. Turner or Michael Hawkins Jr. Oh, I'm going to have to send the house here. That is a battle. Memphis is in that one now for Duncan Grant, and it might not hurt to have a backup plan if things go awry, but I'm battling here, fighting for my life in the Jacoby Williams battle. I'm just in front here for Bo Jackson. Texas State, get out of the way. Hudson Clement, that's working. That's working. Why is Texas State our top competitor in like every battle? Houston Thomas, please pick up the phone. UAB's battling here. I think I can move around some points. Jaden Hartz, we're going to have to stay aggressive there for the guard. I know, there's definitely a demand for a traditional franchise to return on the main channel, and I'm hoping that all these changes I've been making opens the door for that to eventually happen. Hopefully, you know, not too far away, but I'm not thinking this year at this time. Oh, I might get J.J. Harrell back. Y'all doubted me. You said it couldn't be done. Kane, you're a bad coach. The players hate you. But look at this. He might stay after all. All right, so after 1 week, I got to go see, are there any 4 stars with no interest who just want a place to play? Is there a transfer limit you suggest? I think 20 is pretty good. You know, if you're newer to these games and you want it to be a little less punishing, maybe like 12 to 15. You can see here, there are many 4 stars that don't have offers. And absolutely none of them have interest in us. So, we're not going to luck out there on a 4. Or 5. No offers here on Ricky Collins. Makes me feel like going after 2 quarterbacks wouldn't be a bad idea. Got some competition there. Can see how they develop. Novosad has some interest, so I'm going to move him down. All right, let me take a look at our points here. So I got to stay 50 right there. I'm going to have to stay 50 on Duncan Grant. I'm going to have to stay aggressive here for Bo Jackson. 30 here may not be enough. 40. Clement, with 1 offer, I might be able to go down a little. I'm not going to be too crazy, but maybe from 50 to 35. Marcus Gorey, yep. Kilgore. That's 3 offers, and I really want him. So I'm going to keep that, keep that, keep that. I'm going to also go for Ricky Collins. And I'm also going to increase the points on J.J. Harrell. Because, man, I want him to return. I think the whole league here is sleeping on him. And then for my high school players, I think we're in fine shape here. And Bowling Green pulled the offer here on Reigns. Nick Reigns has 88 speed, and the zone coverage looks pretty decent. That range is good. The man coverage is low, but he's a boundary corner. Basically, it's like the Seattle cover 3 archetype. Good size, enough speed, especially in the Sun Belt. Zone coverage emphasis. I might get him. I really hope UAB doesn't get Keenan Kamara. Yeah, I'm worried that our roster is going to be like, 15 under the minimum or the maximum. Got locked out by a couple, it looks. No one I was targeting, though. All right, closer to a commitment here. And checking it out now, O'Neal heavily favoring us as Auburn's like, wait a minute, we could use him. Get out of here, Auburn. How about we have a game next year? Loser leaves Alabama match. Oh! Duncan Grant moves Louisiana to his top team, so thankfully we got our backup option here, Ricky Collins. Still in first for Bo. Now in first for Jacoby Williams. That one is interesting. I feel good about getting J.J. Harrell. I might drop the points a little bit. Let me cut guys that we're not getting. 3-star receiver Nick Trujillo, if no offers. Who'd he play for? Because I know that name. And yeah, we got to see if there are any hard sells that make sense. Oftentimes, it doesn't. Conference prestige being a C. I don't know about that one. Duncan Grant, playing time is one of them. This one could be worth it. ULM. Yeah, we lost to them a while ago. That game actually feels like it was some time ago. So just projecting what I think his pitch is going to be. A+, D, and D is, I believe, a hard sell if we use the calculator. I think that's just barely a hard sell. A+, D, and D is hard sell. If it was A+, D, and D minus, you would want to send the house. So it's barely an improvement, but that's probably his pitch. Playing style for Bo Jackson. I got nothing else. Jacoby Williams, playing style. Playing style again. Playing time. Let's project what this one could be. What's the calculator you use called? I just looked up CFB26 calculator. It's, the site is collegefootball.gg. How hard are you going to make the schedule? Well, I honestly think that 3 of our non-conference games are already set. Arkansas, I want to be like a yearly game. Texas State, I want to play again. And I want to play Memphis because they are the big rival of Arkansas State. So that 4th game, I'm not sure. Ooh. If it's procs to home and playing time, could it be anything else? It's gotta be. Alexander Kilgore has playing style. Yeah, this is going to be a hard sell all the way. That's actually a really good one right there. Like that's, you're not beating us with those grades. Playing time. So we can probably make this work then. I'm assuming it's going to be Star Search, but it could also be this one. I don't know yet. I'm going to send the house for now because I don't want to be wrong. I would be thinking more of a soft sell here in a more one-sided battle. Playing style is his. Could be that one. Yeah, I think this is going to be it. We'll soft sell there to open up a little bit of room. And now I got 25 points to divvy up. I do want to try... I don't want Reigns to pick nobody. So I'm going to put like 15 here for now. I got 2 weeks to work on that one. If I can get somebody to commit, that would open up space in a good way. I'm going to put the last 10, I think, on Bo Jackson because he is a freshman. All right. Are you open to play 4th non-conference game against a former player? Definitely. Like Jalen Rayner, if he were to transfer somewhere to be a starter, that'd be our 4th game. Easily. Stories write itself there. Got one. Taylor Ezzie. That's a high school player. That's not Portal. So that gives us another right tackle. That's it. Which means that my points are still going to be spread between a ton of players here in the last stage. That gave me 35 back. Kamara still may pick us. Reigns might. I might put points in the Reigns battle just because I don't know if he'll pick nobody. Stay away, Auburn. This is I sent the house in this battle. Back in front for Duncan Grant. So the hard sell made the difference there. Ricky Collins has us 1. Bo Jackson has us 1. Now Jacoby Williams is favoring Texas State. Gorey looking good. Kilgore close, but I like our chances. I always get conflicting info on the visits. Some say it doesn't do anything. I've always thought the complimentary visits helped out in some way. I have to keep in mind, though, because I do want to put points on Reigns. I still want Reigns. But the visits, if they're far away, they cost more. Complimentary visits work. That's how I've always operated. Because otherwise, there's no game, so it does nothing. Yeah, I could see who all is leaving us, and if any of them don't have interest from another team, maybe I could look to have some returns. Shout out to us for being high in the alphabet. Ryan Rivers, though, wouldn't. Kenyon Clay wouldn't. We're going to have to see where all these guys end up going. Oh, Trayvon Howard's going to Minnesota. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. I was about to say, if it's Minnesota, I'm happy for him. But what's funny is, like, it's cool how that works out. It wasn't a proximity to home deal breaker, but he still ends up picking the team close to home. I accept that. Jalen Rayner went to Clemson. If Klubnik graduated this year, then maybe. I don't know if he'll start. Where are the rest of my players here? This is only a small list. Dabo uses the portal for the first time in his life, and it's to take your starting quarterback. Oh, man. Dabo, why'd you have to do it? I could see if there are any high-rated threes that don't have offers. Got some running backs out there. Fullbacks are transferring. It's a wild time, guys. You got fullbacks transferring. The Steelers have a situation I've never heard of. The kicker wanting a new contract and holding out. Is Boswell actually not kicking at all in practice? Is he a hold-in? I'm on the wrong list. You can offer to guys with no offers late, and if they don't get another offer, you won't see the commit, but they appear at the position changes stage. All right. Thank you for the super chat. They show up a little late. If you think about it, though, shouldn't kickers hold out more? They are, like, if you're a good kicker, you're pretty hard to replace. I think that's a market inefficiency. The kickers are not paid nearly enough. You think that a team in playoff contention wants to go on the street and be like, hey, Billy Cundiff, can you fill in? Tetaroa McMillan? Nope. Treston McMillan. Rocco Griffin. I've done my running back work, I think. Aiden Williams. Aiden Williams? He was in Buffalo, right? Miami, Jets, or New York Giants? Most interesting rebuild team, Miami. I really think Miami, because in the next couple of years, you have a chance at starting like a whole new era there, given like Tyreek's age. I don't think that team's going to be great this year. Aiden Williams was in Miami. I knew I had him in a series, which means he's good. Probably. He had 1,000 yards last year, guys. If he doesn't have an offer, I might change that. Tank Hawkins. That name is also familiar to me for some reason. I actually have a team that is on my, like, don't rebuild list. Duke's quarterback's out? Probably not their starter. On my do not play list for Madden, it's the Jaguars. Because EA does not have a way to track Travis Hunter's offensive stats. You guys think Tank Hawkins would give us the kind of speed? Ooh. Yeah, I had Aiden Williams in my Miami series. That's why it was familiar. So if you pick the Jaguars and have a half-baked experience because Travis Hunter's stats aren't tracked properly, that's just going to kill your experience right there. Don't pick the Jaguars. Hopefully it gets patched. But the gameplay in Madden right now, I'll tell you, for like slow sim, thinking about me doing my Steelers series on the second channel, it is in rough shape, guys, on all pro default. I've had to spend the last couple days actually building a slider set so I can get going in the Steelers. It's bad. We're talking running backs can barely get to the line of scrimmage, like 20 sacks a game. It is the most imbalanced day one gameplay I have seen for my slow sim stuff. Year one was great. Looking forward to how the team does in year two. Any key players transfer out? I'm just tuning in. J4. How about Jalen Rayner, Kenyon Clay, Javonte Mackey, Trayvon Howard, Will Saxton? Almost all the big names. Slow Sim CFB 26 was and is terrible too. How is it now? Because I haven't even touched Slow Sim on 26. So I've had... You guys want to see some video clips of what I was doing before this? I am trying to figure out sliders that can get like the running game to actually perform, and I'm getting somewhere with this slider set. So I'm actually getting Saquon Barkley to, 81 yards in this game. Passing numbers, high completion percentages, but not bad. And, I had a few plays that looked pretty good here. An end around actually getting 10 yards here to Keenan Allen. I've had to get in the lab and actually build a slider set for slow sim when I've never had to. Because the defense is so good and the front seven is amazing. So that's what I've been working on. So I can get going on Steelers. Madden needs a big title update for sure. All right, so I'm going to give a scholarship offer here to Aiden Williams, and I'm going to give a scholarship offer to Tank Hawkins. Like receiver, I'm really trying to bring in a lot of guys this year. And at this point, 15 points might as well be 0 points. I'm just going to give the offer and see if that's enough. I have never had to build a slider set for my slow sim series. There was a couple of years back, where I had to raise run blocking by like 2 to 5 points until the first title update hit. That was nothing. 99% of my time has been all pro default or all pro default with intentional grounding off because of AI things it handles. But this year, if you go and play slow sim all pro right now, you'll be seeing like 12 sacks a game, sometimes for both teams, with running backs averaging 1.7 yards a carry. If they don't break off a 50-yard run, luckily, they're going to have 1.7 yards a carry. The sack numbers are crazy. As soon as you snap the ball, the linebackers, even if they're in a zone, I was watching like Kenneth Murray. He's not even that highly rated. He's in a hook zone, and as soon as the ball is snapped, he's a heat-seeking missile on the running back. Sliders can't save everything, but I'm doing my best so that we can get going in the Steelers. But I'm also not playing week 1 until I feel comfortable doing it. Hopefully Sunday. We'll see. I also think that right now, while the game is imbalanced, it is best to turn superstar abilities off. I believe I've been reading that edge rushers don't even have their abilities, and the defensive tackles do. And I've been seeing the defensive tackles, man, the sack counts are pretty high for some of them. Let me see if a soft sell here is the best call for J.J. Harrell. Ooh, it's going to be Gamer. I don't trust Auburn here. Oh, it's my kitties behind me. I was hoping someone was in here. Jacoby Williams, though. Can I somehow get in this one? Playing style is one. Why can't you just want playing time? Makes my life easier. I need to come back in this battle. So I'm going to say that's going to be his pitch. If not, I was probably going to lose anyway. Right there. If that's his pitch, I think we're in good shape. Unless there's one that has playing time in it that also could work. Which one do I try, guys? Because there are two that fit. It's a coin flip. If I guess right, I probably get them. I might have to go with this one. Tiebreaker goes to the one with an A+ in the grade. Playing style is the deal breaker, and I'm finding that most of the time, the first motivation you're unlocking for a player is their deal breaker, so you're not getting as much information there because you already knew that. All right, it's showtime, and we're going to see what we add here. That was a lot of time spent in the transfer portal, guys, but we had to. There's so much work to get ready for Season 2. Welcome to Arkansas State. Anwar O'Neal at left tackle. That's a big win. He was a key target. Welcome Marcus Gorey Jr. Let's get some music going here. This is a happy, happy time. Alexander Kilgore helps replace Javante Mackey. Keenan Kamara. You could soft sell both options. That's a half measure, though. That guarantees that one of them isn't it. I'd rather go all in when I'm trailing. If I was leading and I wanted to be a little bit safer, then maybe I soft sell both. But I'm not going to do it from a trailing position. I'm just joining what happened so far. We lost all the guys in the portal. The portal. Jalen Raynor's at Clemson now. That's what you missed. Thank you for the membership, Devin. We lost a lot of our key players. Oh, I got Keenan Kamara at quarterback. That's big. I get a freshman quarterback now. Let's go. Jalen Dwyer at wide receiver. Nate Montaigne. Leo Westerman at tight end. So those remaining high school players have basically all picked me. Welcome back to J.J. Harrell. He is one player who was trying to transfer away that did not get interest in the portal, and he's staying. And he'll probably try this again next year. Hudson Clement. Okay, now we're in the transfer portal. Again, we add another wide receiver. Ricky Collins at quarterback. Titus Mokiao Adimalala. Duncan Grant, 2 quarterbacks to choose from. Bo Jackson at running back. Jaden Hartz. Houston Thomas. I did not get Jacoby Williams. Tank Hawkins did not pick me, but I guess in position changes, those guys could appear if they didn't pick a school. That feels like it was very successful. And let's see where they grade us here. I feel like our grade is going to be really solid. We came into the episode in the 50s. But now, after the dust has settled, we're like 2 spots lower than we started the day. We got 25 players, 59th ranked class. And I think we did a good job in the portal of filling in positions of need. Did I get the cornerback I wanted, though? This is our transfer portal class. I did get Gorey, yes. 11 players come in through the portal, but technically it's 10 because J.J. Harrell was already with us. Yeah, no 4 stars is the main reason. It was 25 threes, though. You know, we're Steph Curry over here. It's raining threes in Arkansas State. Trying to see if I can get my live control command center opened up again. Oh, sick. I think I'm back. All right, I'm going to take a little bathroom break. We will continue. Thank you guys for so far a very fun off season. The journey is not done yet. We got to take a look at some ratings. Be back in a moment. he was taking a nap. Say hi. I'll let you continue. I'll let you do your thing. What's going on, everybody? He was taking a nap. My cat entered the transfer portal? Where's he going? And what was his deal breaker? You'd be an idiot if you entered the transfer portal. He picked Bowling Green. They didn't offer. He walked on instead of taking the scholarship. His deal breaker was hours of sleep. He gets plenty of sleep and enough toys. Oh, don't even get me started. He walked on. Oh, wow. Where did this come from? Are they using like actual CFB 26 strats? Like, hey, go find the guys with no offers and just give them offers. 5 teams did this in the last week. I'm not special. I do love the unpredictability that comes with a lot of this, though. It keeps it a lot more exciting. I really enjoy the transfer portal and everything. As far as dev traits on the new guys. So, Duncan Grant, impact quarterback. Impact quarterback, Ricky Collins. Impact on Bo Jackson. Jacoby Williams at normal. Normal on Hudson Clement. Impact on Marcus Gorey. Impact on Alexander Kilgore. Impact Jaden Hartz. Impact on TMA. Normal Houston Thomas. Impact still JJ Harrell. Kane, how did you like doing the live commentary? On the yesterday's video, I enjoyed it a lot. That Kalispell experiment. I am looking forward to getting into my first games, though, with Arkansas State and moving the series forward and hopefully having a really, really good time with the rest of this series. Yeah, I should have caught Aiden Williams earlier in the process. I might have had a star receiver. What's Kamara's dev trait? Oh, good call, because I hadn't seen. Keenan Kamara, impact. We just added 3 impact quarterbacks. Taylor Ezzie has normal. Dwyer, normal. Montaigne, impact. I haven't added any stars today. We shall call him TMA Impact. I like it. I like that. You know, my thought there, Logo, is if I can do it in baseball, I can probably make the move in my main football stuff. And, like, you know, I've live streamed games before, and I've done, you know, different series where I'm playing. You know, think about my Austin Venom series, but it's like, I think that there is a pretty high expectation for, like, my mains channel, my main series. I know you guys want probably a little bit less laid back, a little more serious than the second channel vibe. Like, I still want to be able to capture the feeling of, like, all the games from, like, Buffalo and those previous series, but now in a live setting where it's, you know, as I'm doing the commentary, I don't know what happens. Position changes. Y'all thought I might forget and just simulate. There was no faith. All right, so did anybody else join? I don't think anybody else was waiting on a decision at all. So I do have a couple athletes. Ooh, Duncan Grant's a 78. Ricky Collins a 77. Ooh, I think Duncan Grant has much better accuracies, especially deep. Under pressure is better. Play action is better for whatever it's worth. But you're a backfield creator. What are you creating with? Your 62 juke? What are you creating with that? He's got 74 speed, 79 acceleration. I got to keep an eye on where all these players came from, too. Ole Miss. I can do that all later on. I think there needs to be a quarterback competition. Oh, like the channel's never had one of those before. Bo Jackson, 80 overall running back. I only added one running back, huh? Bo Jackson. Where's he from? How did I not know there is a college running back named Bo Jackson? He didn't play last year wherever he was. Ohio State? Ooh. Hudson Clement, 82. TMA, 82. So, I think I've done... These are the Corey Rucker and Nana Burris replacements then. And TMA, man, there's some explosiveness here in his game. Route running? Wow, the route running is really good on these two. And I think we're still pre-development, right? We're still going to get training, correct? Because, like, this right here is already, like, scary on Clement. Plus the explosiveness of TMA. Okay. Houston Thomas. That's just a really good Fortenberry replacement. Might have a little bit better hands and better ratings overall. Anwar O'Neal. That's really good pass protection there. Yeah. Upgrading the tackle. Pass pro is a priority. And then Jaden Hartz. That makes the loss of Will Saxton less impactful. I have more edges than this, but they're going to be freshmen. Getting Kilgore was important. I still got some cover linebackers. What's Kilgore's coverage look like? Because he has 92 tackle, high hit power. Okay, he's not a cover guy. That's okay. Neither was Javonte Mackey. And then cornerback is still going to be rough, guys. Very, very rough. Edge and cornerback look like two big weaknesses, and safety. I couldn't get everything solved in the portal. And, I mean, these three athletes here, pass rusher, tight end. Lorenzo Riggs fits best as an edge rusher. That's where he's going to play. Devin Noteboom, star dev edge rusher. As a true freshman, might play. And Leo Westerman. Fullback, D tackle. All right, on him, I'm going to have to take a look at the ratings. 82 speed, 80 acceleration, already a good start at tight end. 72 break tackle. Give me more ratings. think I have to go to this menu and then sort, find him. So now I get all the ratings to look at. 74 catching, 77 catching traffic. Why isn't his tight end overall better than his defensive tackle? His D-tackle stuff isn't even good. He's just got 78 tackling. Like, he's clearly a tight end. And I will not be told otherwise. I mean, the route running isn't great, but it's not uncommon for tight ends to have that. He had 85 power move. That's hit power. His power move is a 65. So yeah, he's an offensive player. Cool. So, 5 QBs. 4 running backs. Will you stop it? Why are we doing this? Let me sort by overall and try to keep it. You're annoying me. 85 power move would have changed everything. So I was able to, I think, mitigate the damage of all of our transfer portal losses, but we are still at a disadvantage at a lot of spots. The right side of the line is still scary. The left side, I think, was the pass protection weakness last year, and I think that shifts this year. But the edge rush depth, only having 4 edge rushers is pretty bad on my part to not have more. Like, I was so focused on other spots in the portal, I just didn't get there. So, I have 3 freshmen and a sophomore as my edge rushers. Y'all better stay healthy. Now, maybe there's a chance that some of these outside linebackers have some edge rush skill. I don't see the pass rushing here on these 2. Chase Bogle, 6'2", 207. You might be an emergency edge rusher. How about our will linebackers? Yeah, down here. Nigel Nelson. Only 75 tackle. 66 strength, man. He's 5'11", 215. That's not an edge rusher. That's a blitzing linebacker. He's a 7th string. Yeah, training is one thing, but I'm also just like looking at the raw numbers on our roster, and it's like, I don't know. And then safety. Boy, I sure hope someone takes a leap this year. This is fun, guys. This was an absolute blast. I just leveled up 3 times. I can buy Recruiter when I get 20 points. What am I at? Whoa, what? Houston Thomas upgraded depth trait to impact? I've never seen this before. I don't want to be ungrateful, but like, tight end, you couldn't have picked a different position? That's cool, though. What triggers it? Is it random based off off-season development? I got 42 points. I could buy Recruiter. I think it's playing production. I like CFB, guys. I love playing this game. All right. Training results. Top-rated player is our best players are 4 transfer portal additions. Titus, Mokiao, Adi Malala, number 1 rated player. There is your Corey Rucker replacement. That's not a bad one either. Then you got Alexander Kilgore, Hudson Clement. What are those route runnings at? Oh, man. We have a couple really good route runners here, guys. As far as a 1-2 punch, this could be better than Rucker and Burris. Thomas up 1, Quincy Wright up 2, Bo Jackson up 2. He is slated to be our main running back this season. +7, Aaron Alexander. Let's go by position. It's more fun that way. Duncan Grant becomes an 80. So we got options here now. And a good jump by Josh Flowers. However, notice that accuracy really didn't get better outside of Ricky Collins. So Duncan Grant goes up 7. And it's all off of like break, sack, play action, 70 juke. I'm surprised this totals +7 because I don't see it. Or it's a +2. My bad. I was on the wrong one there. Yeah, it's a +2 to me. Yeah. All right, Bo Jackson. He is the number 1. Who the heck is the number 2? Similar speed acceleration profiles here. I will say, though, Trevor Hatchett, 94 acceleration. I wonder if on the sticks here, if I'll be able to feel that. When I am using my Control Freak clutch thumbsticks, that's what these are here, the clutch thumbsticks. These are specifically for sports games. They got a really nice feel to them, a little concave. They have a good feel on the controller. Well, Trevor Hatchett give me a good RB2 chance next year. By the way, link down below. Use the code MrHurriicane. Save 12% on any Control Freak order. Thank you again to Control Freak. Yeah, I do like the look of them as well. I think this would look really cool on, well, if I put these on this controller, I think it would look pretty mean. I got, but this is my main controller for like playing shooters and stuff. So I usually have my stick extender on there so I can be a little more precise. You know, that does make a big difference. Makes it a lot easier to make minor tweaks to your aim and stuff. So yeah, I'm intrigued here with Hatchet. The carrying rating is troubling for all 3. For break tackle, Cedric Hawkins, he's probably more of like the between the tackles, you know, second option there then. But of course, we throw the ball to our running backs, and I'm happy to say that all 3 of these guys can catch the ball at about the same, you know, level too. Hawkins has the best spin and juke and route running at running back. So I think it's Bo Jackson and then Hawkins and Hatchet. And we'll just have to see if that acceleration does enough to move Hatchet up. At wide receiver, y'all know who the 1 and 2 are. The 3 is probably going to be, you know, it's honestly kind of a battle, but consider J.J. Harrell is a lot more explosive than DeMarco Blanton. They're similar route runners. J.J. Harrell's the wide receiver 3 this year. I want to feed him a lot of screens and manufactured plays, just like you saw last year, and maybe the occasional jump ball. Does 96 jumping do anything for you? +9 break tackle. Get the ball in JJ's hands. And then Chauncey Cobb. Maybe occasionally as a downfield threat. Could be a wide receiver 5. Hunter Summers? I mean, he was our, third receiver last season. Doesn't take a big leap. I thought he was an inconsistent player last year. I see him as a 4. I think that Harrell is the player I want to feature more, especially given his speed, acceleration, his agility's up 8 points, change of direction up 9 points. J.J. Harrell's going to feel like Tavon Austin. Houston Thomas and Javion Fricks at tight end. Thomas has a lot higher awareness, a lot higher spec catch, and better medium route running. Better run blocking. So Fricks is in that same role as last year. Jabari Bush, though, he's another option here. A vertical threat that's developing, whose route running isn't too bad. He's not a blocker. And then maybe I should have moved one of these tackles over to the right side. I like to just have it, where I list guys where they're going to play. But I think I'll be giving the right tackle job to Chase Stratford. He's well-rounded, and the ratings are very clustered here in the mid to high 70s. I think he and O'Neal are the starting tackles. I do use Matt 10 sliders, yes. Jaden Hart starts at left guard. Gabe Fortson starts at center. Austin Woods +8 at right guard. Huge win. +16 pass block power as a guard. And this athleticism boost. He got this much more athletic while gaining a pound. Watch out for Austin Woods. If you look over on his profile down here, you can see it shows +1 pound. Drew Collins, 73 at edge rush. He's going to rush with finesse, 73. And then Thaddeus Donaldson, +13 power moves, which only gives him 69, but it is a boost. Should be seeing a lot of the freshmen there. Quincy Wright, he's a stud. +10 Kamari Nix. And that's all off of awareness, play rec, tackle. +34 power move. +35 power move. What is going on here? He's going to be a situational edge rusher with these skills. That's crazy. And some cover skills. So now you're going to be a do-it-all player. He wants to be a starting edge. I love how, there's just so many things happening here in training. It is awesome. Kilgore, he is going to be a menace against the run. Chase Bogle still has some pass rushing upside, too. Aaron Alexander gets a +7. He only got +4 on his power moves. Pat Fargus, +23. Nigel Nelson, +6 and +5. And he gained 4 pounds. He gained 4 pounds, guys. 219 pounds. Now we're getting somewhere. Holy cow, Aaron Alexander, +12 man, +12 zone coverage. Cornerback. Yeah, it's still bad. Oh, man. We don't have anybody in the cornerback room that is an 80-plus man or 80-plus zone. James Reed is pretty well-rounded. He was the slot last year. I don't know if he has the speed to manage on the outside as easily, but he has cover skills, could still play the slot, which means you need someone to play outside. And maybe that ends up being like Devon Jolly or something, who isn't listed here because he's a true freshman. You got a cornerback room full of 5 Eli Apples. Jesus. Malachi Whedon. Safety, 71. Evan Brown, 70 overall. Evan Brown's a lot more athletic, but worse coverage ratings and worse tackling. I think edge goes to Whedon. That's a lot of athleticism, though. 5 college Eli Apples is legit, though, I know. Y'all are talking about Bengals era Eli Apple. And Luke Wisham. Man, our safeties are not prepared to stop the run, are they? 64 tackle. What's y'all's pursuit at? 70 and 77. Do you guys think that pursuit matters more at safety? We see so many bad angles. Can pursuit help me there, you think? Should I pay more attention to that? Any cornerback that can play safety? Well, I'm sure many of them could. Isaiah Hornsby has the physicality. 5'9", 186. He can tackle. He would not be a bad position change candidate next year. That's a really good call. I might even try it out this year. Clune Van Andel, +3. Clayton Amaya, +3. We got a kicker waiting to take over the job next year. 85, 84, 84, 83. I feel like our overall spread looks about the same as last year. Based on numbers alone, I'm already excited for next season simply because I want to see how Kane sets up his defense knowing his backfield looks to be lacking. Yeah, I'm going to have to be a lot more creative this year, I think. Especially on defense and trying to generate pass rush and not get our coverage exposed. Hornsby is Bob Sanders. I was going to say that if his hit power was higher. Yeah, let's check Clemson. You guys know I badly want to see a certain quarterback atop their depth chart because they will be on our schedule if he's playing. Ah. Jalen Rayner might have transferred to backup Christopher Vizina. That's a heartbreaker right there. Come on, Dabo, play the senior. Play the guy with more experience. Come on, Dabo. Any conference opponents that gave us trouble through the air last year? Yeah, a lot of them, actually. You know, the Georgia Southern game was very difficult. Southern Miss. The Georgia Southern game, we looked pathetic on defense. But one thing we have this year, guys, is I'll have a chance to buy Recruiter right here. Let me get a little screenshot of that big old graphic. I doubt anybody's transferring away. 77 out of 85. That's honestly not that bad. I'm 8 under the roster max. Wait a minute. Aiden Williams just showed up. Whoa. When did you get here? So we just got an extra receiver. You were supposed to go back to South Carolina. Oh, guys, we are 3 deep suddenly in the Sun Belt. Now, all 3 of these receivers are seniors. This is a 1-year deal. Our receiver trio is crazy now. And you got J.J. Harrell to be the gadget guy. Wow. It said he was committed to South Carolina. That's why it's so surprising. I guess they never offered officially. I want to get to cornerback because there was a player there. He's here now. He's here now. Yeah. Nick Raines is here. He also, his top team didn't offer to him. Normal dev on Raines. .67 zone, 66 man. Do you guys remember seeing his scouting range? Like, his man-to-man was in the center, and his zone was, like, center to the end. Huh. Wow. The wide receiver trio is officially exciting. I was already excited to have Hudson Clement and TMA, and now you throw Aiden Williams in the mix? Wow. Things don't look so bleak, I think, thanks to the receivers. We still have our fair share of weaknesses. But this is exciting. All right, so this is probably the more annoying step we have to do here, but in 2026, the conferences are set to be adjusted. And the Pac-12 is going to look very different. So we have some rearranging to do. So, in 2026, the Pac-12 is going to add Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Utah State. The Mountain West is getting gutted. Texas State is joining, and so is Gonzaga in basketball, apparently. This Arkansas State team is just the Bengals. Oh my God, we are. We are. We're the Bengals after Trey Hendrickson gets traded. Now, is the Mountain West replacing a bunch of these teams? So, I'm adding Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno, San Diego State, and Utah State. Now, this is the Google AI stuff, so we still need to verify that this is all correct information. We need to give them Texas State, and I think that sets up the Pac-12. UTEP and NIU go to the Mountain West. So Northern Illinois goes Mountain West. You know, the mountains are beautiful in Illinois. And UTEP, that sounds like American? What are they? Conference USA? Louisiana Tech is moving to the Sun Belt. They must be the replacement then here. Shouldn't it be the Pac-8? The 8-pack? They should just go to 6 teams and call it the 6-pack and try to be like the strongest 6-team conference. That'd be a good idea. Yeah, I'm going to give them a conference championship. I just want to make sure teams are in the right spots. Now, is there anything else? Move Stanford and Cal back. I'm not doing it based off of your preferences. I'm doing it based off of what's actually happening in 2026. All right. I found a Reddit thread. So Pac-12 adds all the teams we just added. Mountain West gets UTEP and NIU. We get Louisiana Tech. There's also apparently reports that Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee could come to the Sun Belt. All right, I'm seeing a lot of people saying to add UConn. What's the situation with UConn? What makes them special here? Are they going somewhere? Pac-12 won't have a championship game because there's not enough teams? Moving from Conference USA to the Sun Belt seems like a really lateral move. It does. With 8 teams, do I have enough teams here for a conference championship? I do. With the Mountain West, I have 9. God, these massive conferences. All right, I was seeing a lot of people saying to move UConn. I think UConn actually does fit as a really good MAC team. The MAC has even numbers right now. Mountain West has odd. They would definitely be the most eastern team, too. Northern Illinois stands out like a sore thumb here. You guys are the only central time zone team here. I'm pretty sure. Is El Paso central time? They could be, but they could also be weird mountain time there. I'm not sure. You can't create a team. You can do team builder and you can import them into your dynasty, but it has to be at the very beginning and it replaces a team that already exists in the game. You don't add them, you're replacing one. Move Sun Belt Conference Championship game to a stadium. Well, I'm happy doing whatever the real rules are for the Sun Belt. conference leader home, a home conference championship opportunity. That sounds better to me than an NFL stadium. I need that home environment. Hopefully we can get some cool different opponents this year. We played Georgia Southern and App State last year. I'd like to see JMU and Coastal, especially JMU. All right, so are we going to move UConn anywhere is kind of our last thing here. Not that it's a huge deal for the series either way, but we could put them in the MAC. What do you guys think? I'm leaving them. Just making sure my stuff's saved. Congratulations, Pac-12. You got an 8-pack. Good for them. As long as they have... Okay, Allegiant Stadium. That sounds like a good spot to do it. Bring back the Big East Football Conference is what I say. And I think here we upgrade our coach skills because we're about to enter the preseason and we have a chance to make recruiting a little bit easier going forward. So we are going to purchase the recruiter portion here of the coach tree. And we are now going to make it a little bit easier to do some scouting. Instead of spending 50 points at most positions unless our coordinators are helping us out. So, I'd like to take a look at our coordinators and what they're helping us with. Because I thought there were a couple positions where it was cheaper. I'm not seeing any recruiting abilities there. Yeah, O-line covers 5 positions. I absolutely agree. I can do one more position. You know, DB, considering that's also 5 starters, they don't separate cornerback and safety, and it's one of our biggest weaknesses. Yeah. And come on, Reggie Carter. I should have done linebackers because it's Reggie Carter. I'll make that the next one. I try to stay true to my coach's identities here, and I try to prioritize, like, all right, Reggie Carter's a linebacker. We have to start there. We'll go there next. I'm going to save. I can't believe we got this receiving core for this year. The transfer portal makes it a lot easier when you lose a Corey Rucker, because I said all year, like, we can't replace him. And it remains to be seen if anybody truly will, but we just got 3 guys pretty close in overall. We're going to build a schedule. There we go. I knew we had to play Memphis this year, and there it is. We are going to play Old Dominion, Marshall. We got our division opponents, but it's going to be Marshall and Old Dominion from the Eastern Division then. So Louisiana Tech is a new opponent because they joined the Sun Belt. Hey, Russell, I appreciate the super chat. Been following since 2018. Love it. Thank you so much. Starting against Memphis here is awesome. I'll switch the other ones, though, for sure. I think Texas State would be a really good second opponent to face. If y'all can find the time. And because we beat you, you got to come to our house. I learned that apparently they nicknamed the Arkansas State Stadium the Vault. I like that. It's Centennial Bank Stadium, the Vault. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So need an away game and a home game. And I think our away game here is going to be at Arkansas. So, in case you forgot, 2025 is the first time ever these two teams play, Arkansas and Arkansas State. Arkansas's ADs did not want to play Arkansas State. And they certainly didn't want to make it a home and home. In real life, they're playing at a neutral site. That's kind of weird to me. They're not playing at Arkansas. They're playing somewhere in northern Alabama at a different stadium. It's kind of strange. But we are going to try to build this into a rivalry. So Memphis, Texas State, Arkansas, and then I'm looking for one more. And I would love to see if there's, a reunion we could go see that would be fun. We already know Clemson got Jalen Rayner, but it looks like he's the 2. So we can't project him to be playing, unfortunately. Be a great story. I didn't see where Ryan Rivers went, or did Kenyon Clay go somewhere interesting? Let's look for Clay, because he was one of the highest rated players that left. You're right, Missouri State is actually supposed to be a rival, and we do need rivalry wins. If we can't find an intriguing reason to pick somebody else, Missouri State might be a good choice for us. I believe I read that they are rivals. That makes it... That's funny. One of their rivals was a team that wasn't even FBS. Oh my God, he went to Missouri State. No way. Kenyon Clay went to one of our rivals. At 85 overall, he's got to be their starting running back. That wasn't Missouri State? Oh. What was that then? Was that Mississippi State? It's the same color scheme. I thought that was Missouri State. If he's their second running back, I don't know. Sorry. Would have been way better if he went there. Where'd Ryan Rivers go? UNLV would not be a bad option either. Just based off of them having a good year last season and beating us in a recruiting battle. Ryan Rivers went to ASU. He's a backup quarterback. He just went there to party. He didn't even try to go to play. Yeah, let me transfer here to be a third string quarterback. What's this? Noah Fafita and Sam Levitt, same team. They got a lot of quarterbacks over here. They do. If one goes down, they're so prepared. I didn't even see Fafita was in the portal. Like, share with Arizona, guys. I could play Missouri State just because as long as the game recognizes them as a rival, obviously it doesn't look like it's going to be a very difficult game, given they're like a 50-some overall. What, are y'all booked that week? Do they recognize it as a rivalry? They do. Would Arkansas be available here? They would. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 home games. Increase points on Bo Jackson's points. He's a beast. I think Richard Jones is watching from like an hour ago. Someone tell Richard to catch up. Yeah, Arkansas to cap it off feels pretty good. Yeah, and the game recognizes our rivalry, and you want to get rivalry wins so you can work on getting parts of the coaching skill tree opened up. Arkansas game is being played in Little Rock. Yes. Yeah, that's where it is. You know, just forgot about the capital city is all. I think it's like Veterans Memorial Stadium or something like that. Chris, I think you chimed in earlier. War Memorial Stadium is Arkansas's other football stadium. Arkansas claims another stadium? They have 2? Wow. If you have 2 stadiums, you don't have 1. That's what they always say. They're like the only college football team that has a vacation home, but it's in their own state. Yeah, they won't even have Arkansas State come to their campus. I feel that's a little backhanded. Like, we'll play you at our secondary field. Kane, what's your favorite music genre? Mostly rock, a lot of different subgenres, but I like a lot of the 2000s pop punk, a lot of classic rock. Like the most listened to artists for me this year are probably like Sum 41, AC/DC. You know, if it was on Guitar Hero or Rock Band. Oh, Ozzy Osbourne, of course. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne, man. Definitely in my top 5 most play artists this year. Kane, you listen to G Herbo. I don't know who that is. When I see Herbo, I'm like Justin Herbert. All right. We have to get cracking on this initial recruiting board. You know, every time I get on one of these games, I have to turn off the soundtrack for obvious reasons. Madden's soundtrack's actually really good this year. It's like a 90s and 2000s kids playlist from 2005. They did a good job on that. Let me get some music going here on the stream. Yeah, I don't know about the popular artists today. I wouldn't know the first thing about any of that. But man, name another Madden creator that has got a Guitar Hero guitar at his setup with him. I don't think the marching band covers get copywritten. I don't know though. If they're added the content ID, they could be at least, you know, in the system. Franchise played on guitar controller when? Yeah. My next video, guys. Playing Madden with a Guitar Hero controller on the Xbox 360, because that's what this is for. Actually, I have a PS4 Rock Band guitar. I could play this Dynasty on a guitar. My brother-in-law makes custom guitars for Guitar Hero. That's awesome. Some of those custom guitars are sick. The new crack guitars are nice, I know. I might have to pick one up because those look outstanding. Our academics still stink, guys. Coach Stability's doing okay. All right. One-star Arkansas State begins anew. Sounds like fun, David. Have a great time. Of course, I always look to see who has interest in us here on day one. No fives, no fours. No threes put us number one. I'd like to introduce you guys to Stefan Diggs. Usually I pronounce that as Steven, but for obvious reasons, I'm thinking Stefan Diggs is right in this case. And he's pretty highly ranked defensive tackle, 288 pounds. Cool. Cornerback, high priority this year. Trevor Love from Marietta, Georgia is going on the board. We're probably going to try for a 5 or we'll probably try for a 4. I'm not going to waste my time on a 5. Let's see. I am looking for some more well-rounded corners that can do some man coverage. Hopefully. Does Field give good man coverage? I haven't learned all the new archetypes. Gotta have a few here on the board right away. It's a JUCO player. That gives me 5 cornerbacks right now. And although our receiver situation looks really good right now, we certainly still need to bring in some players. And all 3 of our exciting players we brought in are seniors, so we'll do our best to enjoy this season with them on the team. Nice to have a couple guys high on the board already interested in us. We'll come back to the other ones. At running back, Jackson Carden, Trey Ryder, in a pipeline, 5'9", 175, Cedric Toon. Malik Rasmussen. Give me some size. Although I'm finding that most 200-plus pound running backs are very, very slow. North-South blocker at 199 pounds. That sounds like small and slow. I'm interested in the elusive bruiser archetype. Can I just search by elusive bruisers? Cool. (132nd ranked). Sometimes when it comes to the fours, I think I might be better off just like waiting until week 0 and then seeing who has 0 offers and making my 4-star plays there. What is my least favorite part of the offseason? Conference realignment, probably. And then having to do preseason recruiting instead of like getting into practice or something else. I think like just the order of it. I understand it. But like getting into the next season of recruiting is not the main thing I want to do right now. But I have to. That's 6 running backs. What's wrong with me? How about edge? You know, we have 4 edge rushers. Focus. I think it's better to wait 1 week for 4 stars. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do this year. In week 0, I'll see if I can find someone who doesn't get an early offer, and then I'm going to try to make a move. But not right now. Especially because all I can do is offer a scholarship anyway. Why am I on wide receiver again? I need to stop. Just look at edge rushers. Proximity to home. That one never changes, right? Unless we get some weird Pangea continent moving event. I don't know. Playing style, proximity to home. Yep, safety. Hybrid safety. Very interested. Look at all the pipeline players here, guys. And that's by rank. Proximity to home, proximity to home. That's such a safe one to focus on. Alex Rios. Didn't you play left field for the Blue Jays in like 2007? Oh, I nailed it. 04 to 09. Wow. Still got it. Kiki Kiaho. Not going to find a better name all day. Immaculate Grid stream win. I'm actually really bad at Immaculate Grid baseball. There's a couple big holes in my baseball knowledge because I basically stopped watching for like 5 years. And even when I have followed baseball, I haven't followed it quite like I watch football. Like Sunday during NFL season, that's all I do. For baseball, I'm watching the Twins most nights. Some nights I choose not to. And then occasionally I check on other teams and see what's going on there. Maybe watch a couple clips. I have 3 senior tight ends. Let's check out team needs, y'all. 18 seniors, 4 receivers, 3 tight ends, 3 total linemen, 2 D tackles. Tight end and D tackle are going to be next. And there are a couple there on the board, but I want to go higher up. Oh, thanks for Duran and Bader again. Yeah, well, thank you for Mick Abel and an 18-year-old catcher, Eduardo Tait. He's like the 58th ranked prospect. Way to give up the 2032 All-Star game starter at catcher. Bet you feel pretty foolish. I don't hate the Duran trade. The biggest thing I don't like is them not selling the team. The next thing I didn't like was them trading away Louis Varland, but I'm interested in this lefty they got who's pitching at St. Paul right now, AAA. Kendry something. What's his name? Forgot his name. The Brewers are nasty. 12 games in a row. Team is on a tear. Best record in baseball. Kendrick Morales. That's what it is. I was thinking Kendry Morales, who was like the DH for the Twins like 15 years ago. I want a run defender. Does that archetype exist? Pure power. That one does not show up often, does it? Huh. Are the pure power D tackles just ranked worse because their pass rushing stinks? What do you know about Denard Span, Kane? I know all about Denard Span. And he does commentary for the team on some road trips. He was just doing some games a couple weeks ago. "17 minutes until Cam Ward throws a pick 6. Gap specialist is a run defender. Well, I certainly want to prioritize that. Pure power. What does that mean? High strength. Virgil Marvin. Oxford, Alabama. We can say he's like an Alabama State transfer. That's not a junior college. That's FCS. I don't know any Alabama JUCOs. Where'd Cam Newton go? I don't know where it was. Been watching since Minnesota Dynasty. I appreciate that you make all your franchise and dynasties as realistic as possible. Keep up the good work. I try to throw in some realism. Certainly not perfect, but thank you. I really enjoy making my content the way I do, Ivan. Or Ivan. I thought it was Blinn, because that's the same... I thought Aaron Rodgers went to Blinn. Yeah, he did. Oh, Rogers with the Butte? I knew it was a B with like 5 letters. Played Blinn when I was in JUCO. Were they good? Was Cam there? Let's see. I could send all these players a scholarship, although I need to narrow it down at certain positions. You know, running back is pretty outrageous. It locked us out. I didn't want you anyway. Not a bad running back, actually. That cost me 50 points to do that. That's not bad. Cedric Toon. Clearly, though, I should identify... I didn't put any tight ends on the board. I'm scouting running backs. I didn't even put a tight end on the board or a single offensive lineman. I can do some scouting, like 1 point of scouting on a few players there. Jamal Soto. I prefer Vaughn Soto, kicker for Kalispell. 204 LBs. £192 tight end? How does that work? $190. I know they'll gain weight. Raheem Ismail. Six 4 220. Now we're talking. Jeff Alexander. Gritty possession. And then give me at least 1 or 2 tackles and guards. This is Dylan Boykins. Proximity to home. He's an A+. Y'all tell me raw strength is better? All right. Do you guys think I should just offer scholarships to everybody because I can always end up pulling them? What's the proper way to pull a scholarship if I really don't want a player anymore? If I'm like, you know, JK, I didn't mean it. Flatline, I'm glad he could make it. This has been a pretty fun stream. Just take him off the board. better two-way player, Travis Hunter or DeMario Waddle? Hey, Travis Hunter's got some work to do if he's going to match DeMario Waddle, Alex. Thank you for the super chat. Scholarships first and scout with the few points you have. I like that idea. Because then I can just get a better idea in week 0 of what these players really think about us. And if I can just pull the offers whenever I need to, that works. Go to the Need Scholarship tab. It'll be so much quicker than this. What's the Need Scholarship tab? Right stick to go down. Press left trigger, bro. This is technically faster. Nice tip, guys. All right, then I can actually scout with my remaining points. I'd love to know if there are any gems at like cornerback, considering our cornerback group is extremely thin. So I'm just trying to see who seems to be 90 acceleration's intriguing, 89 speed, 70 man. I can get there in 30 points on the corners. 78 change of direction. Ooh, that's not... The coverage is good, but you might want to think about safety. No gems. I might still have work to do there at corner. Let me scout based off of the nationally ranked players. I gotta spend 50 points here. But it's our best player on the board here. Stefan Diggs looks all right. Let's show some love to an offensive lineman now. 73 run block. And there is a gem. Got one. There we go. Agile archetype, and I have 30 points remaining. And I'm out of points. Man, you got 4 quarterbacks on the entire roster. You just got to offer to everybody in the portal. That's rough. Would you rather have 4 corners or 4 edge rushers? Because technically, you only need, like, we got 2 starters and 2 backups, but you got 1 backup to 3 starters. That's probably worse. Yeah, cornerback needs a little bit more than that. I don't think I ever checked out like the all-conference stuff from last year. I think I forgot to look at that. Although if anybody was all-conference last year, they're gone now. Yeah, I did create the schedule. I did. We're a 72 overall now, 71 offense, 74 defense apparently. Playing style is the deal breaker for Bo Jackson. That's something to keep an eye on. But what's nice this year is I think our championship contender deal breaker is a little less impactful. We don't have as many key players with that archetype. So just taking a look here at what the battles look like. Definitely some competitive ones at the top. And then I would like to open up a couple spots for me to throw some 4s on the board that we may have a chance to get that don't have offers yet. So maybe there are a couple cornerbacks I could remove. Do I try to recruit Jamerson Sharp, though, as just a safety? Because I think, like, even at safety, it's not like he has eye-popping numbers. He just has pretty good coverage. There are coverage specialist safeties who have skills that are about this. But even then, he's average athlete at safety at best. Four-star receiver are the easiest position to get. Well, I just want to take a little look here. I might get into a little bit of practice before I head out. But it'd be nice to see just who doesn't have offers yet. All the 5s got them. There is a 4-star receiver. 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 That's it. Playing time is a good deal breaker to go after. You never know with playing style, although I think our playing style is going to work out for us. But I think if I go for one here, Damar Alba, who just wants playing time, would be an option, but I do have other guys in a pipeline. Grant Cashman. And maybe I give out some other offers as well, but I think my final step here in recruiting is going to be giving a scholarship to Grant Cashman. And yeah, I could do it for all of them if I create the room on the board. What do you mean D+? Because I put Cashman on the board? Does that make Haslam like us less? Fair. Is that why he locked us out? Because I didn't see any lockouts earlier. That's a really good feature. So I'd like to get a little bit of a look here at the new offense, given there are so many changes. So if you're just checking in now or want a little refresher, we have 2 quarterbacks added in the portal, Duncan Grant and Ricky Collins. We're going to give Duncan Grant the chance to be our starter, it looks like, because his accuracies are far superior. Well, his deep accuracy is far superior. His short is also better, medium is even. But I think I trust his throwing ratings a little bit more. Ricky Collins, not going to throw it downhill, downfield as well, but he does have really good running skills and can throw short and medium. It's just he's a little more limited with the deep ball. At running back, Bo Jackson, number 25. Aiden Williams, Titus Mokiao Adimalala, and Hudson Clement. Those are the top receivers right now, and I think we'll try Clement as the slot. These receivers against our cornerbacks is the biggest mismatch we're going to see. It's not fair. All right, everybody. That's a good formation here. I don't want pre-snap motion. I want to just run plays fast. I might do some playbook customizing because I don't love this one. All right. And here is Grant at quarterback, Jackson, new tight end. I mean, there's so many changes here to the offense. And there is Clement on the catch. I'm going to have to get to know so many new names. Here's a deep shot to the end zone and caught. Aiden Williams. Don't press. Don't press these guys, man. You know, we don't have a whole lot of under center formations to begin with, so we're probably not going to be going under center too much. We're going to be throwing the football a lot, I think. And we'll see how that goes. You know, my pass-heavy offenses have always been pretty questionable. But I'm excited, too, about Bo Jackson. I think that he'll be a really good option to step in and be that RB1. Not bad coverage there. Who do they have as a star there? Is that our new linebacker? Got to learn all these names. Got a lot to learn before the season begins. Man, so what are the expectations now for this team this year? Like, I know I want to try to be bowl eligible and go to a bowl game, but really, what are the expectations now? Because although we lost a lot, we gained a lot. We're deeper at receiver now. We still have, I think, a good quarterback, although I think Jalen Rayner would be the best quarterback on this team. Here we go. Throw for 5,000? I mean, with our defense, we might have to. If it's as bad as it looks. Are we just going to be the Bengals this year? Is every game going to be us just trying to outscore an unstoppable team on the other side with this receiver trio? I think that's the early thought from me is it's going to be a high-scoring season. Going to average and allow 40. This might be... We might get invited to the Big 12 after this year. Is Aiden Williams the new Braylon Staley? Mokiao Adimalala would be more that guy, but I think you can throw it up to all these guys, but TMA has the speed. He's like 94 speed there on the outside. 7+ regular season wins and winning a bowl game should be the goal. I agree. That would be a good step up from last season. I'm really interested. What is our offense going to look like when we get to the Arkansas game? As Bo was just weaving through these guys. Because we have 3 receivers that are going to be able, I think, to compete with the Razorbacks. Number 1 passing offense in the conference. It's a good goal. How many interceptions am I going to throw this year, though? Be nice. If we're a high-volume passing game, I'm going to focus a lot more on the ratio than the raw interceptions. 12, 17, 8 to 12, 10 to 15. My best guess right now is like 10 to 15. If the passing volume is way up. Ooh, Houston Thomas. He's going to go Jameis Winston. 30 touchdowns, 30 picks. Dude, if I even hit 20, I'm just running the ball. I can't believe Jameis. It's my favorite stat line ever. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, 5,000 yards. Never seen anything like it. Bo Jackson. He's feeling pretty good. We should have looked at, maybe next year we can. We should see if anybody's transferring away from Arkansas and if we can get them. I want to add some fuel to this rivalry. Give me a little 2 tight end action here. I don't know how much of this we're going to run this year because our best personnel is going to be 11. You do the same thing with Washington State. Makes it a little intriguing if you can get some of their players and maybe end up playing against them at some point. Well, we might as well try out the other quarterback, right? Ricky Collins. Definitely seen some missed throws from Grant, and I like in general, like there are just more missed throws in these games than we're typically used to. And it's quite refreshing. All right, so Ricky Collins is the quarterback now in the game. Give me a pass. His deep accuracy is the top concern. So, I guess I want the game to prove it to me. Bo feels pretty quick, though. Has some moves. Feels like a good 3-down player. Yeah, that one's a little bit overthrown. Dude, you're giving me like the same 2 plays. New formation. I'm going to go trips. This is a formation I like, and I think we'll see a lot more 4 wide this year. They don't have J.J. Harrell out there, though. They're missing one of our guys. Ricky Collins was originally at LSU. Hey, if we got a quarterback who went to LSU, that's got to be pretty good for us, right? I haven't really shown off the speed at all yet. I got Ricky cold right now. I didn't know you could get hot or cold in practice. Yeah, Bo Jackson, man, he's going to be an awesome running back for us this year. I'm excited about him. Not a bad deep ball right there, I gotta say. That was on the money for Clement. Clement, he's going to be the slot. Not as explosive as Williams or TMA. Bo Jackson. Oh! Here's a deep ball again. Got that one, no problem. That cold streak went away pretty quickly. You said Bo Jackson? I said Bo Jackson, and not mistakenly. Our running back is Bo Jackson, transferred from Ohio State, replacing Kenyon Clay. And I love what I've seen. I got to get J.J. Harrell in there because he actually had an outstanding offseason. Looks like it hurt right there. Now, Collins is in the zone now. Ooh, a little behind him, but Aiden Williams finds a way. You got some room for error with these receivers, I'd say. I haven't gone to check skill caps. No, I actually haven't done that yet. So season 2, that's going to be a lot of fun, guys. It's going to be an interesting team. Obviously, I made a video yesterday talking about how I want to start doing live commentary for these series, which will be a big change and what I'm really excited for. And if all goes well, I should be able to put out episodes at a faster rate. And I think it's going to make the experience more exciting. You know, I think part of the experience, too, is the upload frequency and how often you get to watch. You know, season 1, I had to upload slower because I was getting, you know, multiple games and episodes, and my process of playing, editing, and commentating. Bo's real name is Lamar. I did not know that. Is it really? Lamar Bo Jackson? All I know is he's a playmaker. But I was posting, you know, every 3 to 4 days and getting 2-game episodes out. With the live commentary, I will be able to shorten the amount of time it takes to create the videos, which, you know, is going to be exciting because I've never really done main channel content that I think I'll be able to turn around at this speed. You know, back when my franchises were like 10-minute videos, That was pretty fast. But we are long past those days. Without the transfer portal, I mean, I guess we wouldn't have lost as many players. But being able to get so much through the transfer portal really changes Dynasty in general. We don't have to fill those players with freshmen all the time. We had a good portal. We got 10 new players from the transfer portal this year. And like 9 of them look to be starters. But yeah, I didn't really talk a lot about the freshmen and skill caps. So, we cannot forget about them. Keenan Kamara with Impact Dev. Accuracy is uncapped. That is really, really good. We might have a chance to actually develop our own quarterback here. It's going to take a little time. He's probably at least 2 years away, but this is really good for a 65. But will he stick around? Of course. Pro potential deal breaker. Oh. I'm going to have to keep looking. Just in case. All right. Jalen Dwyer. Impact Dev at receiver. Not too fast, but good upside in terms of route running. Might be a future slot. Little elusiveness in his game, too. And then Ofisa Orlando. Not going to get any faster, but could get a lot better route running. I don't think that's too bad. At tight end, Leo Westerman. He was an athlete, and he has pretty good speed. And his blocking could get a lot better. We'll see if it does. His route running will get marginally better. Probably like a mid-70s guy at his peak, which may end up being starting caliber. And he'll have speed, so he'll be intriguing. Not bad, but definitely not going to be a game changer. Let's see. Got a couple guards. Nate Montaigne. Run blocking, rough, especially at guard. But his pass protection is good. But he's not a guy you want to be running behind. Elias Butt. Caps are not bad. The issue is that he's stuck at 72 strength, which really limits his run blocking upside, even if his caps are good. So he might develop into a good Sun Belt starter who gets absolutely destroyed by Power 4 guys. Randy Haslam, he was a gem. Impact Dev. Uncapped pass blocking. Very little cap on the run blocking. This is a big win here, Randy Haslam. Future starting tackle. Edge rush. Lorenzo Riggs, power rusher. That's an awful cap. We have to hope he becomes a finesse rusher. I've never seen this before. Can a player's archetype change? Because he should be a finesse rusher in a year. And maybe he will be. Devin Noteboom. Star Dev. So we only had 2 Star Dev players in the whole class. Uncapped power, uncapped finesse. Oh my God, this is going to be Jimmy Sampson, but at edge rusher. Huge gain here for us. Wow. That is a win. Max Souls. This seems really good. He has upside everywhere. What's your dev? Impact. Huge win. I agree that we need to get Noteboom starting. His caps look so good, and if we can get him production as a freshman. The butt boom slam combo. Thank you for the super chat, Miles. Steve Doss. Strength is uncapped, or power is uncapped. I don't like the run stopping cap, though. So he might be really strong. We'll see if that turns into much. Also has really good acceleration, I think. Or at least it's green. All right, BJ Wasevich. My #1 player on the board for a while. Ooh, his caps are rough on IQ. Not great on coverage. He could probably become like our 3rd linebacker. A 2-down guy and a special teamer. And then I'm going to save Jolly for the end because he has Star Dev. We got Nick Raines with normal dev and pretty bad caps. Not as good as I thought he'd be. And then Devon Jolly. Looking for upside in the secondary. Jolly. Okay, that's a really good cap on zone. Man coverage, you know, it's already a 79, so it has plenty of room to get into the 80s. Press can hopefully get better. I don't think this is too bad. Definitely work on those hands, though. Not much of a playmaker yet. And those are the new players here on the team this year, guys. I am excited to get into year 2. Feels like a really good fresh start here. New season, new format, a new feel. And I can't wait to get to the start of this next season. So I do think I'm still going to be doing edited off seasons as their own video. Especially if there's more for me to add before we actually get into week 1. So, be on the lookout for that. We got 2 rivals on schedule this year, plus Texas State and Arkansas. It's a very solid non-conference schedule. And with all the newcomers, this could end up being a very exciting season. I don't know what the future holds. Because we have weaknesses, they are going to show up, but now we have some strengths. Mainly, we went from having like Corey Rucker last year to now a trio of receivers that could feast on Sun Belt secondaries. Wow. Can't wait for Season 2 to begin, everybody. Thank you for coming to today's stream. One last time today, I'd also like to thank the sponsor, Control Freak. It's been great working with them. And if you're not familiar with Control Freak's controller accessories, check out the website, see if there's anything that catches your attention. You know, their accessories, they'll help you add grip to the controller, help your aim. If you're playing shooters, that's where I like to use these extended thumbsticks. I've used these for years, ever since, I was big into playing games like Battlefield and Call of Duty. But I'm a big fan of Control Freak stuff, and I'm using them every time I'm playing, whether it's the clutch thumbsticks or the no-slip grip thumbsticks. They do make the controller feel better. You know, the controllers have come a long way, but I do think the Control Freak products take them to another level. And with my code MrHurriicane, you can save 12% with that link in the description. Check out Control Freak. Thank y'all for supporting the channel. And I hope y'all have a great weekend. Any plans? What's the funnest thing y'all are doing this weekend? Come on, big boy. I'm going to be feeding this guy. Watching football. We got preseason action. That's right. Preseason football. Baldur's Gate 3, watching a lot of baseball. Yeah, usually in August I start to lose interest in watching baseball, but even with the state of the Twins, I've been watching them quite a bit. And I'm still very much into the MLB season. Usually he does not behave this well. I think he's acting here for the camera. He's usually a lot worse behaved than this. I didn't mean that. I'm excited for college football season 2. Like, the game comes out like 6-7 weeks before the season begins. And it's like, you start to get into that college football mode and that mindset, and it gets closer. And it's like, wow, there's a lot of time before we actually get the games started. And what's cool for me this year is that the Gophers open against Buffalo. So I definitely want to watch that game. You know, my last year's Dynasty team against my favorite team. I really want to see how they use Coy Parrish this year as a two-way player. He's a baller in CFB 26. If you haven't seen him as a safety, he's one of the best in the game and has receiver skills as well. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, he's a little over a year and a half. It's easy to remember because his birthday, according to his paperwork, which maybe wasn't fully accurate, but apparently he was born on January 1st. Hi, Kane. Hope you're doing well. I'm excited for Steelers franchise on Madden 26. Thank you. And yes, when it comes to the Steelers franchise, I'm going to get to that as soon as I can. But as I talked about earlier, the slow sim gameplay right now with the game as it is, not good on default settings. But the sliders I've been working with here seem to be an improvement. I'm going to keep testing, keep tweaking, and try to get them into a point where I feel comfortable getting into the Steelers' first season. I think that once I do, his name is Neo from The Matrix. Once we get into the season, I think I want to move at a little bit slower pace in the beginning to try and wait for a title update that can clean some things up, because sim stats need help, playbooks, play calling. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed in Madden 26 right now, on top of on-field gameplay, which is not balanced on all pro default settings. So I want to slow play it in the beginning and hope a big update comes, or an update that smooths out the gameplay, because I've done default all-pro going back to my first series of that type of series with the Browns. You know, I don't have to make sliders for that series. It's one of my favorite parts. But right now, to get going in Steelers, it's necessary. I'm seeing the top edge rushers still get sacks, but the D tackles are really, really good. And I think as a result, I'm going to be turning off superstar abilities because they kind of screwed up the edges. Have you seen any sets on OS? There is one that I saw, one or two that do slow sim, and if I don't have success, I'm going to try it out. But I ran a test earlier for a couple games that was a bit of a breakthrough for me. I'm going to put you down, big boy. So I'm going to pull up some gameplay here for you because so the issue is that defensive fronts are so overpowered. Sack counts are out of control. TFLs are out of control. And it is as bad as I've really seen it. So, on my last test, these were the numbers that I was getting. You know, it's only 13 carries for Barkley, but 81 yards is good. Javonte Williams, 17 for 51. Low yards per carry. And I think we're still, even with what I'm doing in sliders, TFLs are still too high. Sacks are probably still a bit too high. I did this Dallas and Philly test, and I think it was like 8 combined sacks, 8 to 10. The QB numbers look good. I have adjusted the speed threshold, which is, I think, making it so the tight ends are not as overpowered because I was running tests where Jake Ferguson was going for 175 yards and each team was getting like 8 to 12 sacks. And it's like, what are we doing here? And so, you know, I've been trying to get the running game better. And I was shocked to see this, you know, wide receiver end around workout. And then just trying to clean up the blocking a little bit. Like I was seeing one-on-one blocks were so much in favor of the defense. The offensive line could double team, but they could not single anybody up successfully. And I'm starting to get success there. So it's something I'm still working on. So I'd love to do Steelers Sunday. I hope I can. But I'm not going to force it if it ain't ready. You know? But I'm going to run more tests and we'll see. The sliders for this series are right here. These are Mat 10 sliders. And they're in a really good spot right now. We have nailed, I think, the set for this patch. I've given him some feedback and made some changes and suggestions. Is that right? Wide receiver catching on 48? Yeah. Okay. And the penalties are essential. And the threshold is essential. The precipitation, do whatever you want there. Yeah, Madden needs a patch badly. Badly. Vic, have a fun time starting from the very beginning of the stream because this is now the end. Thank you all for coming. This was great. First off-season stream in Arkansas State, and hopefully if this live comm shift goes well, we can do this more often. I would love to increase the pace of these series to where we're far under a month per season. But that's going to do it for me, everybody. Take care, and I will see you all next time in the Arkansas State Dynasty. Have a great